Hey, what's up guys, Clan here. So for today, we're gonna talk about a very interesting archetype, the Dark Knight himself. So finally BT07 is out and we are having so much fun on building different kinds of decks. So why don't we look at a very fringe but might be a really good deck. And let's start off with our Digitamas. First, we have the 4 copies of Pagumon from BT06. So Pagumon is here just to add more cards onto your hand. Because whenever your Digimon with Pagumon on its ESS gets deleted, you can reveal your top card, and if it's a black Digimon card, then you can put it on your hand. Next on our list are the level 3s. So we have tons of level 3s on this list. First is the 4 copies of the new BT07 Monitamon. So Monitamon is, what he does is, whenever you play Monitamon, you get to reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and then we can add 1 card with Knightmon or Deadly Axemon on its name among them onto our hand. So this Monitamon actually helps us to dig up those main cards that we are gonna use on this deck, which are the Deadly Axemon and the Knightmons. Okay, so moving on to our level 3s, we have the 2 copies of the BT05 Monitamon. So what this Monitamon does is, whenever we play him, we get to look at the top card of our deck. And whenever this Monitamon gets deleted, we can reveal the top 3 cards of our deck, and we may play 1 Monitamon among them without paying its memory cost. So the thing is, it combos out a little with our BT07 Monitamon, because if our BT05 Monitamon gets deleted and suddenly we can reveal we can get a BT07 Monitamon, then our BT07 Monitamon can trigger its on-play effect as well. So it's kind of chain triggering whenever we get our BT05 level 3 Monitamon. So okay, moving on next to our level 3s, we have the 4 copies of Chikurimon. So what Chikurimon does for this deck is simply it just digivolves one of your opponent's Digimon by 1. So the thing is, most of the hybrid decks, especially the red ones, has the ESS of Aldamon, wherein you cannot trigger your security cards if his Digimon attacks. So the problem with that is, even if we security check, let's say an Ultimate Flare or maybe the Iron Fisted Onslaught, it can't really stop the security plus attacks of those big red Digimon. So Chikurimon is a really good counter against those strategies, because Chikurimon's security effect still activates even though they have, let's say, a Delicate Plan or even the ESS of the new Aldamon from BT07. Okay, last on our level 3 list is the 4 copies of Chumon. So I've included 4 copies of Chumon because there are tons of way now to gain memory on your opponent's turn or even your turn if your opponent has a Hammer Spark on their security check. So Chumon just stop those kinds of plays. And we're done with our level 3s. Now we're moving on to our level 4s. First, we have the 4 copies of the new card from BT07, Skull Knightmon. So what Skull Knightmon does is, whenever we attack, we can trash all of the Digivolution cards of one of our Deadly Axemon on the field, and we can put that Deadly Axemon onto the Digivolution source of Skull Knightmon, and suddenly we can freely Digivolve into our Knightmon. So Skull Knightmon does a really good job on just freely Digivolving into your level 5, which is Knightmon. And as a bonus, whenever it's our turn, if it has the evolution, the inheritable skill, wherein if our Digimon has Knightmon in its name, or Bagramon, well, Bagramon isn't technically really printed out yet, so let's focus more on Knightmon first. If it has Knightmon on its name, it gains security plus 1 attack. So Skull Knightmon, it gives more pressure if you have the perfect evolution into a Knightmon. Okay, next on our level 4 list, we have the Deadly Axemon. So Deadly Axemon, what this card does is, whenever we hard play him, we get to reveal the top 5 cards from our top of our deck, and then we can add up to 2 Digimons with Knightmon under names onto our hand. So Deadly Axemon is like your dig up engine for this kind of archetype, because most of our cards are named DarkKnightmon or Skull Knightmon. So Deadly Axemon does a really good job on that. Not only that, whenever Deadly Axemon has a Knightmon as its evolution card, that Knightmon gains plus 2 KDP. So it really combos out with Skull Knightmon whenever you Digivolve into your DarkKnightmon. Okay, next on our level 4 list are the 3 copies of Mechanorimon. So I included Mechanorimon on this list is simply because it only costs 4 to hard play, and I will discuss later on a very good option card that was printed on BT07 that actually lets you play your 4 cost Digimons for free. So Mechanorimon, not only it's a 4 cost Digimon, it also serves a really good blocker against very aggressive archetypes like the hybrid archetype, wherein they just want to attack with their rookies and suddenly finish you off with their maybe their Emperor Greymons or Magna Garurumons. So Mechanorimon stops those kinds of aggressive attacks. Okay, lastly on our level 4 list, we have the 2 copies of the new hybrid Digimon from Black, which is Grumblemon. So Grumblemon is simply the Black Agunimon for this deck. So his purpose is just to give the finishing blow, just in case your opponent board wipes your field and he doesn't have any security stack left. Suddenly you can Digivolve your Tamer into Grumblemon. So Grumblemon is like a surprise final attack for your deck. Okay, now we're moving on to our level 5s. First, we have the new card from BT07, DarkKnightmon. So this is our mainstream card here. So what he does is, first on play, we may place 1 SkullKnightmon and or 1 Deadly Axemon from our hand or trash at the bottom of this Digivolution as his Digivolution source. And on all turns, whenever DarkKnightmon gets deleted, we may play 1 SkullKnightmon and or 1 Deadly Axemon suspended onto our battlefield without paying their memory cost. So just in case we attack with DarkKnightmon and it has security +1 attack, then suddenly it gets deleted by battle, our field will still be replenished with 2 more Digimons from DarkKnightmon's evolution source if ever we have Deadly Axemon or Knightmon on its ESS. So what this means is that your opponent deleted one of your Digimon with security battle, but it gets replaced by 2 more Digimon. So this is a really aggressive card, not only because it can attack with security +1 if it has SkullKnightmon on its ESS, but as well as it gets replaced by 2 more Digimons if it gets deleted. Okay, we're moving on to our next level 5. We have the 4 copies of Warumon Zaimon from BT05. So I only included Warumon Zaimon in this deck list because he only costs 5 to hard play, and sometimes I just wanna turbo Digivolve into my level 6s, and Warumon Zaimon is the best card to do that. So Warumon Zaimon, really good card for cheap evolution and even cheap hard play memory. Okay, now we're moving on to our high level Digimons. First, we have the 4 copies of Rescuerumon from BT03. I haven't really seen this card for a very long time because it has been overpowered by recently printed black boss Digimon. So what Rescuerumon does is, whenever we Digivolve into Rescuerumon, we can reveal 1 card from the top of our deck for each Digimon our opponent has in play, and we may play 1 black or red Digimon card with level 5 among them or less without paying their memory cost. So please do take note though that all the unplay effects do activate if we, for example, reveal a DarkKnightmon and then suddenly we can play him for free. His unplay effects still activates with Rescuerumon's effects. So Rescuerumon, I included him because it's a really good card for this deck, simply because you are swarming more Digimons onto the battlefield, as well as you can do chain triggers with their on-play effects. So Rescuerumon, I think this is the perfect fit for this boss Digimon at the moment. Okay, now we're moving on to our level 7. We have 2 copies of Omnimon Zwart. So what Omnimon Zwart does here is, again, just like Rescuerumon, you put more pressure on your opponent by simply adding more bodies onto your battlefield. As well as, since Omnimon Zwart's effect also can trigger the on-play effect of whatever he reanimates from your trash onto the battlefield, it means you can chain more effects again and again. So Omnimon Zwart is a really good card as your level 7, as well as your swarming engine on this deck. Okay, we're done now with our Digimon cards. We're moving on to our option cards. So first on our option card is the new Pride Memory Boost from BT07. So this is the option card that I was talking about before. So what this Memory Boost does is, we get to reveal the top 3 cards of our deck, and we may play a black Digimon card onto the play without paying its memory cost with 4 cost or less. So this is a memory boost wherein you don't actually put that card onto your hand. Instead, you put it onto play. And as a bonus, all the on-play effects still triggers. So if you've noticed, most of our level 4s and of course level 3s and level 4s here cost only 4 or less, like Monitamon, Deadly Axemon, even our Knightmon. So on almost 100% of the time, your Pride Memory Boost can the bonus Digimon that you can play from Pride Memory Boost would always trigger almost 100% of the time. Okay, so next on our option card list, we have the 2 copies of Ultimate Flare. So what Ultimate Flare does is we get to Digivolve one of our opponent's Digimon by 3, and after that, we get to delete off all of our opponent's Digimon on play with cost 3 or less. So this is kind of like a mass removal for those aggressive archetypes which plays tons of level 3s. As well as, for example, if you're up against a Cherubimon deck, which has a really annoying on-deletion effect, Ultimate Flare does a really good job on just countering that, because you're not technically deleting Cherubimon. Instead, you are digivolving him and then deleting his rookie form. So Ultimate Flare is a really good card against those kinds of archetypes. So lastly on our option card list, we have the single copy of Iron Fisted Onslaught. If you want, actually you can interchange the quantity of Ultimate Flare and Iron Fisted Onslaught depending on the meta on your local game stores. So I only included single copy of Iron Fisted Onslaught because I think there would be tons of aggressive hybrid archetypes on my local game store. That's why I chose Ultimate Flare instead. So what Iron Fisted Onslaught does is it just deletes all of your opponent's Digimon with the highest play cost. Okay, so we're almost done with our deck list. Now we're moving on to our Tamers. We have the 2 copies of Easy Izumi from BT04. So I included Easy Izumi because it has the generic Tamer skill wherein you get to start your memory at 3 at the start of your turn, as well as if just in case your opponent has 0 memory remaining, and then suddenly you can he attacks you and you security check an Easy Izumi, and all of the cards that you revealed on the top of your deck are black cards, then it's your turn and you start your memory at 3 because you gain 1 memory from those revealed cards. So Easy Izumi is a really good card. Just to always start your memory at 3, as well as if your opponent is not too careful with attacking, you can suddenly steal the turn. Okay, lastly on our list is the single copy of the dual Tamer from BT06, Easy and Joe. So I included this card just because sometimes I wanna make my opponent think twice before they wanna swarm me with tons of Digimons on the field, because what this does is if our opponent has 2 or more Digimons on their field, we get +2 more memories. So sometimes you can do some psychological warfare with your opponent if you have this dual Tamer on play. So the playstyle of this deck list is just really simple. You want to swarm your opponent and give them tons of pressure, as well as play some free Digimons by using some chain effects. So I really hope you really like this deck list, and if you do, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I also have a Facebook page at SaberCline. And that's it for today's video, guys. If you want to see the gameplay video of this deck list, I will leave a link down below on the description. So that's it for today. Till next time, peace out.